Sam, can you give us an update on what you see at quarterback this week and Felipe's season? If you could put it in perspective, if he's the single season completion percentage leader right now.
Well, after Saturday, we haven't, the trainers have been with Felipe and all those things, but we haven't seen him move or throw or anything like that, and we'll get that opportunity today. So I don't really have an update as far as his availability yet. We'll know more of that, today's practice, tomorrow and Wednesday. But he has done a nice job of throwing it to our guys and not to the opponent. And he's had a really good year, and it's certainly helped him, in my opinion, towards the NFL draft.
Trey Biddy.
Yeah, Coach, after watching the film and everything, what did you like about what KJ did, and what did you not like?
He took care of the football, was the first thing. He threw a few balls away. We had a lengthy discussion of why we are starting slow. I think part of it's understandable with the beginning of the game, with, KJ being his first opportunity to play, certainly many snaps at all. The halftime thing, we had a 7-point lead. We need to come out and score and put it to a 2-point lead. We weren't able to do that. We had a lengthy discussion of why that is. But I thought KJ gave us a little bit more as far as in the running game. He ran the offense incredibly fast. And I just thought he did it. I mean, anybody could see he had a great football game, took care of the ball, ran the offense, and certainly really, really proud of him. And after the game, he was very emotional, and I certainly can't appreciate that. I loved everything about him on Saturday. I really did.
Bob.
Hey, Sam, I think the first time you faced Alabama was probably in 2012 at Tennessee. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but you played them a bunch, at different schools. How have they evolved from, say, 2012 to now? And just, they always seem like they're number one whenever Arkansas plays them.
Well, they're pretty much number one when everybody plays them. They've got a great football team. This year, their offense is just incredible. Their offensive line is the best in college football. Matter of fact, not for sure that I've seen an offensive line that well coached, and including the ones I coached, that well coached and that physical. And they can do it all. They can run, they can pass protect, they can get out on toss sweeps. They play aggressively. I think it all starts. We've got two great tackles and a center in Dickinson, but their offense is outstanding. Their defense is the same as it always has been. Some teams are running some up-tempo things on them that, they're getting a few more yards maybe than what they had in the past, but their defense is outstanding. Their offense is probably as good as there is in the country, probably as good as there's been in a while in the country. They're outstanding. And so they're Alabama. My first time actually playing Alabama, I was at Northern Illinois several years back. I don't remember the year, to be honest with you, but I was there. That was the first time that we went to Alabama and played them.
Scotty.
Hey, Coach, I was wondering if you had an update on Grant Morgan. What's the status with his injury?
Y'all keep asking me them questions. Here's the answer. We have no idea. I haven't seen him. Same way with Felipe. Haven't seen him. We've got to find out about his knee. He won't practice today. We'll see if he can do something tomorrow, but I have no idea what his status will be for Saturday at this time.
Hutch.
Yes, Sam, even if Felipe is good to go this weekend, could you envision KJ still playing some? And then also looking forward, I mean, that was the first time you've really gotten an extended look at KJ. Does his performance kind of give you confidence moving forward in his future?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the guy played a great game. Certainly, absolutely. Um, it's hard to say what the game plan is going to be on ifs, if Felipe plays, if he doesn't, things of that nature. But certainly KJ's earned the right to play some ball, and Felipe's earned the right to be our starter. So we'll just kind of go from there. If Felipe can't practice early in the week, well, certainly we have no problem at all going with KJ. If he can, then we'll make a decision sometime during the mid part of the week.
Otis.
Yeah, Coach. I don't know if he was hurt or not, but Myron Brown, was he injured some Saturday? I saw Malik playing a lot in the fourth quarter.
He was, and again, that'll be something that we'll just have to see how he does today and how he moves forward throughout the week. But yes, he was beat up a little bit on Saturday.
Dudley.
Coach, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago about hidden yards in the special teams game. Kind of judge the special teams this year, and maybe what's going to be the biggest emphasis, as you go into the rest of this season and next season?
Well, we'd like to make some extra points. We'd like not to get a field goal blocked. We'd like not to get punts blocked. And so all those things, I think we've had a couple of punts blocked, a field goal blocked, and we missed some extra points. And those things affect the outcome of the game. They affect the way the opponent calls the game. They affect the way we call the game. So, at this point in time in the season, when the depth is getting thinner, it really shows on special teams more than anywhere else. Certainly, you don't want to, if you're playing, the way we play our offense up tempo, there's chances that the defense is going to get more reps. And of course, it's their responsibility to get off the field too. But with that said, at times your corners, your skill spots on defense, it's hard to play them on a lot of special teams as well because they're playing a ton of reps on defense. So in the future, we certainly have to upgrade our depth there. Our punting, kicking game has got to be better, and we'll work on that. But it's not schemed. We're not getting out schemed. We're not any of those things. We just have to continue to get better in that aspect, and we have to obviously be able to kick the ball through the uprights.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, let me know if you've got more questions in the chat. Fresh Ash.
Coach, what concerns you most about Alabama?
Stopping them. I mean, I don't know that anybody has. And again, everybody struggles with a team that can throw it and a team that can run it. We've proved that we're a little bit better with a team that just is a throwing football team. But when you're able to do both, like Missouri was able to do both, and like Alabama can do both and in the best way possible, those guys are scary. And so Barry and his group are trying to scheme up a way to slow that potent Alabama offense down. And then we, to win the football game, we're going to have to score on offense. And their defense is very hard to score on, and as it always is. But the concerning part is, can we slow them down on offense? And then our offense is going to have to score some points.
Trey Biddy.
Coach, maybe last question on the Missouri game, but after, again, rewatching the game, what happened in that fourth quarter on defense? Is it a lot of things? Is it simple stuff? Were you gassed? What do you think happened?
No, they whipped us. I mean, we had lost the edge a lot during that game. We lost the edge on a couple of long runs in the fourth quarter. We were trying a lot of different things, Trey. We were trying some zone coverage, and they would throw it underneath us on some quick outs, some quick stop routes. We'd try some man coverage, and we couldn't cover them man-to-man, and we couldn't get pressure on the quarterback on third down. We couldn't get off the field. I know it seems like a story that we talk about all the time, but really they got some momentum. I thought that we didn't tackle well. Losing Grant Morgan probably hurt us a little bit in the fact that, you know, he's there for alignments. But the bottom line is they out physicaled us in the fourth quarter. And, you know, I thought there at the end we stole the game from them, but 42 seconds was too much time, and they went right down the field on us.
Bob.
Sam, I should have done my research better. Were you at Northern Illinois when you guys went in there and beat Alabama? And if so, that must have been a pretty good memory. And then, you know, they're skilled people, you know, Jones and Smith and Harris, if maybe you could talk about them a little bit.
I mean, they're incredible. I mean, they're as good as anybody has. And I mean, they got a Heisman Trophy quarterback. They got Harris. I mean, he's as good a running back as people have. They're talented as they can possibly be on offense and defense, as that matter too. But I mean, they're just a hard team to slow down. And yeah, I was at Northern Illinois when we were able to go into Alabama and win that game.
I bet that was a pretty sweet memory. What do you remember about that?
I remember we scored more than they did. That was a long time ago. I'll tell you what I remember. By 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday of that week, Joe Novak was the head coach, and we always have our run game up by 10 a.m. in the morning. And we had a good team. We'd beaten Maryland that year, and I think we'd already beaten Iowa State, or that was right after that game. And we always had the run game up, and we always are starting drawing cards and all this. And Coach Novak walked in at 10 o'clock, and there was not one run on the board, not one. We couldn't find one run that we liked against the Alabama defense. And he said, well, heck, Sam, you got to put something up there, you know, figure it out. And we ran a little pin and pull play, and we had Mike Turner, who played with the Falcons for a long time. And I think he rushed for 150 yards that day, and obviously a historical win for the Huskies of Northern Illinois.
Tom.
I covered that game, and Bob just took all my thunder right there. It was 19-16, and the Burner Turner, a great Falcon, had a big game. My question was Alabama's staying power near the very top of the SEC. Just can you speak to maybe what that means and maybe how difficult it is to stay up there like that?
Sure, it's difficult. They have Nick Saban. I mean, the guy is probably, and you can argue whatever you want, but probably the greatest college football coach of all times. If he's not the greatest, he's one of the top three, and it'd be hard to argue that one. But with that said, he hires great coaches. He's got a system that he stays with, and they are recruiting machines. They're going to go out and they understand that players are difference makers in your program, and they do a great job of recruiting. But they keep a system, and you can see it because, there'll be different coaches come in and out because they have success and they're able to go get head coaching jobs and things of that nature. And the university doesn't change. And that's all because, in my opinion, because of Nick Saban and his system and the man and the knowledge that he has.
Scotty.
Hey, Coach, I saw on Saturday you guys elevated Myron Cunningham to a captain. What have you seen from him this season, and why was he the choice there?
Well, the team voted him. You know, you need 4 captains, and that's what we thought. And so we voted in another captain, and the team voted on that. And I was so pleased and so happy that the team voted him in. You know, his mother and father went to his first college game on Saturday, and once we had found that out, and then he was elected the captain, then I wanted him to go out and represent the team because his mom and daddy were at the first college game. I thought it was a great moment. He's played well. We're going to get his NFL evaluation when he comes in, and then we'll let him decide what's best for him to do. But he certainly has elevated his opportunity to play in the NFL if that's what he chooses.
Nikki.
Coach, looking at the depth at corner, do you anticipate Jarquez and McClellan coming back to the team? Have you guys talked about it at all yet? And just like, how do you feel about the depth there? And could that be a position you might look for someone in the transfer portal?
It certainly could be a position, Nikki, that we look for a transfer portal. We don't know, but certainly could be. It's one of those on our board that we're going, could we allow a scholarship in that position? Certainly could be. I really don't want to talk about the situation of guys that opted out and their opportunities to come back to the team at this time. There'll be better times to visit about that later. I want to talk to the kids first. But yeah, you know, depth-wise at corner, it has been fairly light all year. Some of it's been COVID problems, some of it's been injuries. But I think the future there is going to be fine. But sometimes, you know, our depth has been a little bit of a problem.
Coach.
Sam, at least on Pro Football Focus, Ricky Stromberg graded out really high against Missouri. What did you think about his play, and how have you seen him progress throughout the season?
Ricky's a fighter, you know. He's gotten bigger. He's stronger. He's going to just continue to get better and better because he works at it. And he played against a really good player on Saturday, too. That guy, you know, he threw him around a time or two, and Ricky threw him around a time or two. But, you know, I thought our offensive line played really, really well, and I think Ricky's a big reason for that. He gets everybody on the same page. And I think Brad, Coach Davis moving him to center has helped him not only for the success of our team, but for his future in the National Football League. I think that'll be his spot.
2 more. Bob.
Sam, Alabama's won like 97 or 98 or some crazy number against unranked teams. They just never seem to let anybody slip up on them. What do you think about that stat?
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I think Clemson's got some things going at this point, you know, that have some unbelievable numbers over the past, I don't know, several years. But Alabama's Alabama, and we're really excited to have the opportunity to play them. We really are. I mean, if you're going to get a real measuring stick of how far you've come in a year's time, you might as well go play the best team in the country and see where you're at. And we're excited for the opportunity to do that. But for them to be elite for the number of years they have been is incredible, and a testament to their coaching staff, the players, and Nick Saban.
Last one, Tom.
My question is a senior day question. Do you have a solid number on maybe number of seniors you'll have back next year? Will those guys go through the ceremonies you guys have on Saturday? How will that play out?
We've talked to briefly to some of the guys about, you know, sure, we'd love to have you come back, but that won't be decided, obviously, before senior day. So we don't see any problem if the guys end up with 2 senior days, but we don't know exactly who's going to come back next year and who's not. So every senior in our team will go through the ceremony before the game.
All right, that'll wrap us up. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, guys, go Hogs.